blessed for being stupid. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that.
Okay.
I'm blessed for being stupid. Cause I didn't know I was winning. And now I acknowledge every win. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I'm just like, cause like now I know the importance of being, how do I put this? I know the importance of being humble with a purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like, being obnoxiously humble.
What are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me. Not for the time that I spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society. My mama raised a loser, but I broke the chains. I wasn't made to be a player, I was made to build a game.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. And it's me, your boy, Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack, and we're back in the lab once again at 10:04 p.m.
10:04 p.m.
Yes.
Okay. The sun is down, and it ain't came up yet. Is where we gonna go with that.
Not yet. So how are we doing, Mac?
Right.
Before we get started, please,
yeah.
please trample over that like and subscribe button. We do this for y'all because we love y'all and we just want to give y'all the motivation to be better than y'all were yesterday. Now, how are we doing, Mac?
Bro, we doing amazing, man. I'm enjoying Pappyhood over here.
Got the newborn at the house now.
Yeah, man. We just like took her footprint today and put it up in the little book here, and now I had to fill some stuff out. So it's it wasn't as much of a transition as I thought it would be. Like, I think like a lot of people get nervous when they have kids, where they just like, now, man, so many things got to change, man. Like, literally, the only thing I changed was furniture, and maybe got to change my shift at work, maybe. But like, I was like, yo, it ain't really that deep. Like, it's like you make a few adjustments here and there, you can make it work. Like, it's not really that deep. Like, the only thing that really really brings a problem out of it is when you work against yourself mentally, and that's when the problems start to arise. And like, I think that's when most people end up finding themselves in situations like this. But yeah, bro, like I'm doing wonderful, bro. Like I got some room for improvement. Like, I don't wake up on a dime when she started crying in the middle of the night. So like, that becomes a little bit of a tricky situation, because her mom does, so and also, I don't have the right sponsored material to feed the baby, so I gotta do like some aftermarket stuff, you know what I mean? So there's that. So I don't think there's really much you can do about that. The dude already told me, like, look, bro, you ain't important, so don't even try to act like it. So I'm good with that. So teamwork is working itself out, man. We making the thing happen, dog. How about yourself, dog? What's going on with you?
That's what's up. Not much on this end. Just trying to, like, not necessarily get a set schedule going, but just trying to make some changes of my own. A position to open up the job that I'm working at now, that I want to kind of shoot for, because it is remote. I would be basically like a remote trainer, kind of like the previous job I left from. So I really want to go for that. I'm talking with my supervisor, but everything's been going pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm actually, training a new guy now. He's already has experience at the job, but for whatever reason, because he's been working locating. He's been locating for like 6 years, and like they just threw him with me, and I was just like, this man gonna be
Are you?
teaching me things. I'm
That's
just
what I'm
like,
saying. What the hell you want me to do with him?
right? So it's just a little networking type thing. Like I've been talking with the guy. He's real cool.
Networking.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just kind of seeing where his headspace is.
Yeah.
Been trying to like ask him like recently, just today, I asked him, like if he had any hobbies outside of work. He's like, is he working on anything, doing like any type of anything, just trying to make conversation. He was like, nah, he's just like really into working and whatnot. And I'm like, but that ain't where the money is, man. Cause he was like, he started working this job because, he really wants overtime. He really wants to, be in a better financial place this year. And I was just like,
You're talking about broke folks again.
But like I said, I was trying to test the water, see where his headspace is. He's a blue collar, as you would say.
Usually is at the bottom of the lake. Is where the headspace is.
That's crazy. We work around a lot of lakes. But yeah, other than that, it's job's been real good. Excelling at it, as not to toot my own horn as I always do. But just really trying to take that and put it in my work outside the job. After I do the job, I do get home and I do what I need to do at home. Take care of Core, take care of Chase, make sure they're all right. Spend time with them, and then once I get up here in the office and try to have my alone time, it's not hard, but like it gets to a point where it's like, all right, I gotta do it. I'm gonna do it, and then like after that first hump, I'm just like, starting drooping. I'm like, I'm relaxed, and I'm like, just getting tired. I'm like, just push through it. It's all gonna work out, and it's just stuff like that. I mean, for the most part, it hasn't been like too tiring, too exhausting. Like I'm kind of getting into that, 4 hours of sleep being fine, the entire day type of workload or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, other than that, things been going well. I'm getting time into working regular job, doing the
I don't
blended
want to hear
thing
about your job no
afterwards.
more. I'm done with that.
Outside.
All right.
Everything is running smoothly. That's what I want to say. Everything's running smoothly.
That's good, man. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. I've had a little bit of time to detox from corporate America for right now, man. And like I'm
lucky.
just no, it's not luck, bro. This was intentional. Remember that. And if they're gonna give the perk, then I'm gonna take it. So
might as well.
Here's that. It might as well, right? So like, dude, I've just been spending this detox being intentional about everything that I do. Like I found myself being more focused on my goals now that I don't have. And it almost feels like it like it's not like I don't have the safety net right now, but like I ain't there no more. If that makes any sense. Like I'm not in the trenches with that anymore. Like I'm not doing that anymore. So like I feel like there's something that I should be doing. And right now with the baby not really wanting daddy like that, it's like, oh, you need to be productive, and like cleaning the house ain't necessarily cutting it. So like what are you gonna do? So like I've been really intentional about my work to the point that like yesterday, like I almost spazzed out because I won't get no work done. I was like, yo, I need to sit down and work. But like I'm out here cleaning dishes, I'm out here moving furniture, I'm out here straightening up stuff, all because we got company coming over and all this other stuff. I'm like, yo, I don't need to be doing none of this right now. I need to be in front of this computer working. Like I don't want to do nothing but that. And like it's been a long time since I've been motivated to work. If that make any sense. So I sat back And I thought about it, and I'm like, yo, how did I get here? Like, and why, not how did I get here, but why haven't I always been here? And what I came to realize was I was there because it became my full time because I don't have the other thing going on.
Okay.
So like it put me in a headspace. So it's like, yo, you need to get something done. Like you need to make something happen. Right now you ain't making that happen. Like and your bank account reflecting the fact that you ain't making that happen. So you need to get on something. So like it put me in a headspace where like I had to put myself in front of the computer to block out all distractions. I was a little bit more relentless about it than I usually would be. And that was a huge wake up call to me, bro. A huge wake up call.
Okay. So
that's not what I was talking about either, but I'll get to that in a second. Go ahead and ask your question.
I was gonna say, so what you're telling us is we all need to just quit our jobs and focus on our passion.
Bro, I'm saying like we talked about it already, man. Like
right.
like yo, like you gotta do the main thing. And you got to find a way. Like, I ain't saying quit your job because obviously, like, yo, you like a lot of people got a lot of financial attachments that they need to tend to. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just go ahead and quit your job. And you got a $2,000 lifestyle, $2,000 a month lifestyle that you got to maintain, and you just quit your job, and then they're folks just coming with their hand out, taking everything back. So, like, I don't suggest doing that, but I do suggest working on something that's going to get you there. Like if this week hasn't put me back into a headspace of like, yo, you got to take your time back and you don't need nobody else to do it.
Right.
Like you don't need nobody else to do it. Like you don't need to ask permission for that. So like I've been in this headspace of like, this is something that you need to do. This is how much money it's going to take for you to be who you need to be. So what are you going to do to get that money?
Ooh. So, all right. It's interesting you bring that up, right? So, another thing that cuz I wanted to talk about on this episode particularly about consistency, right? And there's this particular video I've been seeing or it's a particular guy that does these skits, and the video is basically like, all right, it's him and his homeboy or whatever. He's sitting there, got a stack of dollars in his hands, right? He's sitting there counting it.
Yeah.
And his homeboy come up, be like, yo, I feel like sliding out to this party. It's only $10. And he was like, see, that's your problem now, man. You always worried about fun when you need to be worrying about funds. And it was just like many different.
I like that. That.
So it was many different moments of like, and this stuff like this, we all got that on the homeboy that, wants a party, that wants to, I mean, it's not
now.
Well, okay. Yeah, see?
My bad. I just like I felt like we needed to put that out there. Like I ain't got that. So they try to come around, but I don't usually let them in. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that. But like, we all know somebody. How about that? We all know somebody that
yeah
wants to have that leisure lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
And many other moments. He's like, yo, man, I'm tired of being single. He was like, you need to be single. You need to be working on yourself. You need to be getting up your money. Because, like, what you going to do with a girlfriend? You're like, you broke. But he's like, and then there was another moment where, he finally gets his homeboy on, right? And, they're both sitting there counting the money or whatever. And homeboy was like, I made 10,000 this week or whatever, right? And then the other dude, he made the same amount. He's like 10,000, but homeboy, he's celebrating. He's like, yeah, we did good this week or whatever. The other dude's like, nah, man, we need to be going harder. We need to be making more money. And the homeboy trying to justify the 10,000. Well, the 10,000 that he had made or whatever. He's like, you know what they say, more money, more problems. And then the other dude is like, I want all that. You
I
know,
want all of it. Give
he's
it
like,
to me.
I want the fake friends. I want the people that come around with their hand out and all this other
You know what
stuff.
I'm saying?
You know, he's like, back in the day, you know, mom struggled to feed us. There was times where we, you know, went through life not even having, you know, clothes to put on our back. I want all these problems. I mean, like, what are you talking about? So I was like, for some reason, it kept coming up on my feed, and I was like, all right, you know, they trying to tell me something, you know. I mean, the first time I saw it, I was like, dang, gotta work even harder now. Second time I saw it, I'm like, yo, I'm listening. I'm getting to work. I'm doing the work, right?
Right.
And in order to get to that point in life, like, you need consistency. And I saw those videos first, and then I watched another video about, I don't know if you heard of the product I think it's like Rabbit R1 or something. It's a new AI technology or whatever. But
I ain't got nothing to do with writing books.
Nah. But basically, the dude, the creator of this device kind of has a similar story to you. You know, he's been working on this model for the AI since like 2013, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why I clicked on the video, but it was basically a video of like kind of his backstory, because it's just some random Chinese guy made this, you know, cool AI tech that's gonna like basically change the game, right? And I think it was in 2013 when he first made it, right? They didn't have the technology, basically. I know it sounds cliche. The technology to kind of
so
like,
he was before his time.
yes, very much so, right?
Yeah.
So the guy that was kind of like, you know, that did this research, you know, went and did the background check on him or whatever. He sees that this guy has been working constantly, just like on this one thing. He's been with different companies, but he's always came back to that one idea he's had, and he stuck with it to now. And now he just like, he came up to I forget the event. I think it was like CES or one of the tech events. Brings his product, basically shows it off, drops the mic, and like everybody's like, they're selling out. It's on pre-order right now, and they're selling out each quarter that they did. I think it, like, it's just ridiculous. Like, consistency, even when it seems like it's not gonna, you know, provide any type of success at that moment. But if you keep working at it, like, the possibilities are like literally endless. Like, this man is making millions and is about to revolutionize the world, all because he stuck with what he believed would be needed in the future, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that kind of got me hyped.
With that relentless drive to do so, is the thing that really speaks out or really stands out in that story. And like, no matter how many times people tell you that, yo, you can't do this, like, okay, watch this. And you know, I get that a lot, bro. Because like, a lot of people say, yo, you can't do what Marvel doing. Like, that's not a thing. Like, a lot of people, like, I want y'all to understand, like, a lot of people have put that or tried to put that into my mind. Like, yo, you are not able to do what Marvel has done. Cause like, when people ask what I do or like how I describe my stories, like, Mark can tell you, like, yo, like, I'm rivaling Marvel right now. Like, we got just as many characters over here, just as many stories. And I'm telling you, like, like, the joints go so deep, and like, they like, the characters have such such a world of their own. Like each and every single one of them can have a book on their own. Like I'm telling you, like the stories are that deep. Like I don't know how it all came about. I just, every time I had an idea, it was something to connect to somebody else, or it became a world on its own. And like there's a lot of people who tell me like, yo, you would never be Marvel. And I love it when they tell me that. I'm like, all right, bet, watch it. Like I look forward to showing you when it does.
And my thing is though, right? People like that that kind of push that narrative onto others because of whatever reason. They're projecting themselves on you.
That's what it is right there.
they too afraid to start something like that themselves. Whatever the reason, right? Why is it always creativity that gets snuffed out? Like,
I don't know. I get exactly what you're saying. I understand it. I understand the question fully. Like it. If you just said like, yo, I wanna like climb the corporate ladder and do something like, yo, like nobody questions that.
Right. But if it's anything from I want to create something, I want to be a NASCAR driver, or just like anything that is fun.
You want to break the mold.
Right. Snuffed out instantly. We don't do that. We can't do that. Do you know how much money it takes to get into something like that?
Yeah, I love that question. That's the stupidest question I ever heard in my life, bro.
Right. And I'm just like, why? Where do we get this urge to do that? Like you could be happiest person in the world. You could be optimistic. You could just gleam with happiness, right? And like you're like, I'm gonna go out in the world. I'm gonna do great things. I'm gonna do this and that. I'm gonna do X, Y, Z. You bring that to a job, and they're just like negativity. That hasn't been done before, or like I said, we can't do that. We don't do that. And just every excuse in the book, instead of, I think you should go for that. I myself don't think I could do something that great, but I believe in you. You should do that. Just something simple like that. You don't gotta just totally shoot this person down because of their dreams, their talents, or whatever. Like you haven't seen, somebody be great in that field from your environment. So why do you just automatically think that it wouldn't be a success? That person wouldn't be successful.
I start by saying that the right environments do have those type of people. Like I did come across a lot of people, and it's always people that you don't know. Let's just be real. Like it's never somebody that like like I believe
always
that
some
you can
stranger.
do that. They always like but what about that time you ... like what about that time you quit on the football league back in elementary school? Like you like 38 now. They talk about something that happened in elementary school, but bro, like I think for the most part, like what you just said is real. Is realistic. But like what you asking people to do is you asking me to even though I recognize my insecurities, which is the reason why I'm saying you can't do that. But you asking me to recognize my insecurities and hype you up too when I know I can't do it. So it's the ego thing that kicks in, right?
Okay.
So it's like, all right, so I know I can't do no shit like that. I'd be damned if I big up another dude to tell him that he can. I know I can't. Now, the part that I really don't understand is like, that's not even your thing anyway. Like, so why are you even tripping on that? Like, dude, just come out and say, "Yo, I want to write books." Oh, well, I know you can't do that. You know, it's hard to publish a book. Like, it's a lot of competition out there. Bruh, have you ever tried to write a book? Well, no, I've never written a book, but I can't imagine doing that. Then why are you arguing with me about this? What is your purpose? That's the part I don't get.
Just to be. But all right, so with that, right? You have many people out here, doing many different things. Everybody has something that they're good at, something that they just do well, just naturally, right?
Oh, that's wild, bro. Like, hold up 1 second. I hold that thought. Hold that thought. Everybody got something they do naturally that they do well. Hold that thought. But I'm watching you right now, right? And I can see you moving, and I hear absolutely nothing. But when I listen to the podcast in the car, it sounds like whole thunder waves. Like it's like every single time you talk. Like I'm looking at you now, and I don't hear nothing. I think that's hilarious. Crazy. I'm sorry. I had to put that out there because there's somebody listening to it in the car right now. They're like, "Yo, exactly." I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But like I was saying, right? There's people out there that do things naturally that they're just gifted at, right? And like everybody has those gifts. Every single person has those gifts, right? So why not just like dwell in that? And cool if you have a job, cool if you want, that lifestyle, that 9-to-5 lifestyle. Entrepreneur, being successful. It's not for everybody. It's not. But for the people that want to be different, that want to have that lifestyle, to have that financial freedom, why not just work your job? If you need to work the job, and then on a consistent basis, put a couple of time to the side to just work on something. Work on your natural talent, right? Block everybody out and just work on it. Spend 6 months on just something you love and see where it goes. Why are we always so reluctant to not go for things? Like, and I understand that, yes, like it. You got something?
Yeah, also like that 6 months thing, like for real. We're gonna talk about this a little later in the episode, but like for real, like you put that 6 months in, dog, you gotta do it right. Like you really gotta do it right. Like I used to think like, okay, it's like my man back dude named Eric Worre, one of the biggest names in network marketing, bro. This man told me, he said you gotta do your 90-day sprint. And he used to talk about this 90-day sprint thing. And when he explained it to me, I thought he just meant like, work on it for 90 days. I'm like, yo, okay. But like, for real, I realized like you really got to do that thing right, dog. Like you can't just be like, when you do it for 6 months straight, like you got to do it correctly, dog. And we'll get to that in a second. So go ahead, Mark.
But yeah, like I said, do it consistently. Yeah, consistently. Block out everything and like just dwell in that. Just sit in that talent. Because like you said, I remember on a previous episode, like we always try to. It's something about just like sitting in a room alone, trying to focus on something. We always think that we need some type of distraction, basically.
Distraction.
And it's like, yeah, I promise you will get more done if you set like let people know. Put your phone on do not disturb. Be like, yo, I'm working at this time. Like I know I do it. I don't know about anybody else, but like when I'm working a 9-to-5, like I'm mainly focused on the 9-to-5. Like
I can't do that.
I mean, I don't like when people are like trying to call me while I'm working or whatever. Like Court do it all the time, and I'm just like can't really talk because I'm like I'm moving around. I'm either driving or something, and it gets
Oh,
messy.
usually my thing, I'm listening to an audiobook. That's usually my thing.
Okay, well that's the distraction. You're not fully focused on your work, sir.
I mean, it's a job. I mean, shit, you don't have to be focused to do a job. Like, let's be real. Like, it's not
That's
like I'm
true.
out here with a multi 6-figure job. Like, I'm just out here just doing grunt level shit. Like, you don't need brain power to do grunt level shit.
I understand. But
It is what
I
it is.
digress.
Uh-huh.
Be consistent. Be consistent in your work and see where it takes you. Just see where it goes. Like I promise you that like you will get fulfillment out of accomplishing the first week and then the second week and then the
Mhm.
third, the fourth, and you just keep going at it. Right? Like once you get past the starting line, doesn't matter when you finish, you started. Like just don't stop. That's the main thing. Just don't stop. Like Mac with the books, 10 plus years. All I remember is 10. I don't know
14,
exactly.
14 now.
14. We got
We 14 going on 15. Let's
14
give it, put some
years.
spec on it. Like,
14 going
put
on
some spec on it.
15 years. We got this podcast. This is episode 226. 226? 226.
4 years. 4 years in the making.
In the trenches. And everything's growing. Like there's nothing that we've done or said we've done that hasn't had some type of growth added on to it.
Yeah.
And it's just that simple from the starting point. Literally, our very first episodes, they weren't the best. I give it that.
Oh man, I remember the soup can episode. I remember that joint. We all huddled around one microphone, sitting in the middle of the room, eating pizza and drinking beer. I remember that. Yeah, yeah, I remember that.
Make it sound so distant, like it was so long ago.
That-
but 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 look at where consistency has gotten us. Like Mac got a newborn. You know, I'm exhaling at this blender thing. I am ready to just. I want to team up. I want to do everything. I want to do it all. But I know there's a time and place for everything. So we just working. But no, for real, like it's insane how if you look back on that, just how far we've came in the 4 years, what we've experienced, what we've gotten done in just 4 years. And there are people out here they got more resources, they got more time on their hands, they have basically they're in a better position than us and they still haven't started. And if you just not compare in the sense of, oh, I'm better, or, oh, they, whatever, but just compare yourself that you can be just like us. You could start and in 4 years be, I don't know, multimillionaire, have your own company, whatever. But just take our example. 4 years. Do something for 4 years. See where it takes you. Shout out this podcast when you do it.
For real, I'm glad you said that because I want to be able to, like, when people start saying stuff like, "Yo, you came up out of nowhere," Like, where did you come from? Like, you like all one day, all of a sudden, you just saying like you just got all this success. I want to be able to, I want to be able to point back to this episode right here with us talking about that, because like, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like, I was in a point one time, and you know, I'm blessed for being stupid. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that.
Okay.
I'm blessed for being stupid because I didn't know I was winning. And now I acknowledge every win. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I'm just like, because like now I know the importance of being, how do I put this? I know the importance of being humble with a purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like, being obnoxiously humble. That's what we're gonna call it. We're gonna call it obnoxiously humble, because I know when I get something done, get something accomplished, I can use that to build on. You know what I mean? So like, we come from, 9 to 5, where, we're not allowed to brag about the stuff that we do. Nobody really cares about that. But, I call myself, what did I say? Blessed and stupid.
Blessed to be stupid. Yes.
Blessed to be stupid. Yeah. I say that I'm blessed to be stupid because I kept working while thinking that I was a loser. So like, it didn't matter how much I was losing. I just kept going, and I just kept working, and I kept developing, and I kept making things happen. And it wasn't until we started this podcast. It wasn't until I met Marcus and started telling him what was going on. When I met Alyssa and started telling her what was going on. It wasn't until them two came into my life where I started to understand that, you might want to take this a little more serious and not sleep on what you've already done. So like, once I realized that, I started to understand more the importance of being consistent, because had I not done the things that I was already doing, had I, say I stopped it, scrapped everything and started all over from scratch every time I started trying to write something, or I didn't have that little notepad, say I, just completely obliterated the project and started over completely from scratch, I wouldn't have never realized how important it was to be 100% persistent and consistent of doing what I was supposed to be doing. So like, let me paint the picture for y'all. Like, just being real, just being honest. I started on the Eighth Universe, and back then it was called, man, I can't even tell you what it was called back then. It was called some crazy stuff. Like, I don't even think I really had a name for it. But it started off something small, and then I ended up calling it the Ascension Universe. And it went from the Ascension Universe to the Aether Universe sometime after we started this podcast, because I wanted to create a little bit of separation. But when it was the Ascension Universe back somewhere 10, 12 years ago, when I was first writing it, it just started off with one book. It was just one little book. It was like somebody asked a question, some ex-girlfriend said some dumb shit, gave me an idea, and I was like, all right, bet, I'm going to write about this. And, I started writing about it, and then I had these characters, and I was like, these characters are hot, so let me continue doing something with these characters. Then all of a sudden, these characters that I had, a whole universe started to get built around them. So now, we got a whole. I just want y'all to understand. Like, I'm not trying to brag about nothing. Like, real talk. Like, humble with a purpose. The Eighth Universe now, like I said, it has 340 something characters, somewhere in that range. I got it on in our cloud. 300 some characters, about 95, 96 books that need to be written, all types of products between the two of us. Marcus already sparked the idea for 2 of those books. So Morton's Castle was involved in it. We got products that are in the works, a whole secret language that that we put together in this thing. Like, and then all of these things is like all those things that I'm telling you is all avenues to make money on. All of those things are avenues to make money on. All I got to do is get people to read the book. That's literally it. Like for real, like all this stuff is going to pan out in the end. And like I say that because right now, if you're looking at it with untrained eyes, you will be like, yo, are you really winning? Because you ain't balling for real. Like you ain't out here making money right now. In fact, you so in the negative that AJ, you had to go back and rewrite book 1 of the series that you were already working on, and you just finished book 5. So to the untrained eye, you looking at it like, yo, you ain't really doing what you saying you doing right now, because you ain't really making no money. But bruh, I promise you, it's not about making the money. When I tell y'all that I'm passionate about the story itself, like, do you know that, do you understand that some people, some authors out here, like there are people who train this, right? You know, you talk about the author seminars and stuff, and people on the internet claiming to be gurus and stuff. You know, because they wrote 1 or 2 books, and then all of a sudden you got a course out and you training it. Like, bro, these people out here telling folks like, if the first book of the series don't make no money, then you don't need to write it. And here I am like, yo, what are you talking about? Like, does the story not need to be told just because you ain't making no money on it? Bruh, I write this stuff because I'm passionate about the product itself, bruh. Like, this ain't got nothing to do with y'all. I don't give a fuck less if you buy the book. Real talk. Like, but the story needs to be told. The story needs to be written. Because if the story isn't written, if I'm not consistent at my part, if I'm not persistent at my part, then somebody like Marcus can't come and create his part of it. Somebody who make music and musical scores and stuff like the Ludwig Jorgensens of the world, they can't come and they can't do musical scores on the product. Somebody can't be passionate about their part of the product if I don't make my part of the product. This ain't got nothing to do with the money, but it has everything to do with the discipline to keep going when you don't feel like you're not doing anything.
That's a prime example of that is it who's the artist that got the famous painting where it looks kind of like swirls? That Da Vinci?
That would be oh goddamn. Man, name on the tip of my tongue, bro.
But basically,
Starry Night. Starry Night is the name of the painting that Marcus is talking about, and for some reason I can't recall the guy's name. It's at the tip of my tongue right now, though. Go ahead, Mark.
But that artist, in his time was laughed at. His his paintings didn't make money in that time. But he still, I don't know how many paintings he has out, but he didn't let that, get him down. He still has paintings. And to this day, in this era, he is known as I forget what you call it.
Vincent Van Gogh.
Yeah, Vincent Van Gogh. He is a art genius.
Yeah.
In this day and age. And just imagine if back then, he got that criticism and was just like, all right, I'm going to scrap everything.
But
and be and own a farm or something, or whatever 9 to 5 looked like back in his era or whatever, right? We wouldn't have had that art. That art wouldn't have sparked many different other artists or plays or music, because all that is connected. Like, you think people just like come up with music just off the top of their head? Yes, some probably do, but like it sparks from something. An image, a painting, or whatever is always sparked from what we see, what we can imagine. And if things aren't created, if there's no creativity in the world, we don't have that. We don't have music. We don't have art. We don't have the the things in everyday life. Like, hell,
Mhm.
this controller you might think is just, average, but like an idea was sparked, and now we have many different controllers. The controllers over the years, that 60 N64 controller. Oh my god, that is hideous. I mean, but people love it though. People love it. Like, people will go out their way to obtain that controller.
The first three-handed controller.
Ridiculous. But people love it. Like, but I it's not my cup of tea.
I hated it, bro. You had to spend 20 minutes of a new game trying to figure out which way you needed to hold the controller.
Stupid. But people love it. There's fans out there that go out their way to integrate those controllers into their PC gaming, regular gaming. I don't know how many people I've seen just like sitting there with a controller playing like old school classics. I'm like, y'all got it.
Yeah.
But there's a group of people out there that would love to see your creative side. So just get out there and start. Like, you don't understand that, like, those misprints sell for millions. Like, Max say we talked about it before. He don't think it's worth it, but I think that first book that he put out there that he had to go back and rewrite, that thing gonna be a fanboy collective thing. They gonna have that in the big old case with the lock and key on it. It's gonna be preserved. Somebody gonna have that like in their room as a collector's item or whatever. Like, this
Right.
prized possession right here.
But like, even even you saying that though, Mark, like for real, and you know that gives me a good idea, because you saying that, it just kind of make me think like, oh, this might be like a collector's item that you give people for free, like just like maybe like a contest winner or something like that. And I got a lot of them too, so like I could do that with a lot of people, make it a collector's item, one of X, Y, G, whatever the case is. But like, I don't care. For real, me personally, I don't care if they do it or not. I'm going to put it in a display case under lock and key, because I love the product that much. Like, I stand behind it, even though I've messed up on it, quote unquote, messed up on it.
Yep. And that's where consistency gets you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I said it on the podcast before. Like, you have to be so consistent in something that you master it, that your so-called failures or your so-called mess ups are successful. They're still gonna be, you can still put it out there and people still love it. I forget who it was. Some one of those rappers or singers or whatever put out a song, and they hate it. They was like, I had a code. It was the worst I've ever done, but people love it. Like, people loved it. It made the top charts or whatever. And I'm just like, how is your worst still your good? And you just like, you get on national television like, y'all, that thing sucked. What you mean?
It's like Majora's Mask all over again, bro.
Right? And it's in everything. It's in art, paintings, it's in video games, it's in music. The creator or whatever thinks that they did so bad at something, when actually it is just what the people wanted.
I'd be pissed if somebody say that about the Gem State Siege after I spent all this time rewriting it. Be pissed, bro.
Be like, hey man, that first book, it was French Kiss. It was perfect. Why'd you change it? No.
No, but real talk, wait. I ain't gonna lie to you, dog. Like, I'm going through the story right now, and I'm hitting some points where I'm just like, yo, this is gonna be something right here. This is gonna be fire. Excuse the pun.
But yeah, like, if you don't get anything from this episode, just remember that, like, once you become consistent in something, there's no failure. There's no failure at all. Once you
I like that,
start,
Mark.
the only failure is stopping.
Yeah, I like that.
So get in the
I like
trenches,
that.
people. Get in the trenches. Do the work. Put in the work consistently. Just like Max said, do it persistently. Wait, how'd you say it?
I don't remember you. We're gonna
That's
have,
fuck.
we're gonna have to make a persistent, consistent. Those are the two things I think I said. I don't know. Go with those for now.
Anyway,
We can
get in
do
the
a clip later.
trenches. Do it persistently and consistently, and then there's no failure. The only thing is, sky's the limit. When you feel like you want to get off the train, just get off. Like that. That's once you start, you decide when to stop. Man, basically.
Yeah, and like one thing that I believe that keeps us from being consistent and persisting in our goals
That's
is
what it
that,
was. My bad. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Mark talked about it earlier with the video that he saw, the guy wanting to celebrate versus the guy who wanted to keep going. Now, this video that he was talking about, it strikes a chord on both sides of a spectrum that needed to be somewhere in the middle. Now, when I met Marcus, I was on some celebrate what? What we celebrating? We need to keep going. Like I remember on many occasions saying that, but at some point I was like, all right, you need to stop and smell the roses at some point, like for real. But at the same time, like even though you stop and smell the roses, you don't need to get out the car. Like the roses, they sitting in the window. Like you can roll the window down and sniff them joints, and you can just keep driving when you're done. But like some people, they want to open the door, they want to get out and take a leak. They want to go talk to their homies at the next call over at the light. Like yo, for real, you ain't got to do all that. Like for real, you want to celebrate everything that you do. You want to pop a bottle and light the sparklers for every situation that comes about in your life. Like nah, bro, you don't need to do all that. What you need to do, however, is you need to keep your head down and keep working on something. Have a little fun and then celebrate yourself if you want to, if you need to, like bro. But for real, like you don't have to. There's two things you don't have to do. You don't have to be relentless, so relentless that you forget who you are, and you don't have to be so loose that every time you get something done, you just undo it by celebrating at the end. Because I see a lot of people doing that, man. Like as we talking about this, I'm thinking about like some practical stuff that we can give people, and like for real, like it's a lot of people who the only two things you really good at is celebrating and giving up. And that's a very hard thing to break right there. Like you can't. It's literally the only thing you doing is like celebrating and giving up stuff. Like you having a party every week. Every time somebody asks you to do something, or every time you say you about to do something, you do it for like 20 minutes, and like if it don't work in 20 minutes, you ready to call it quits. Somebody come tell you that we talked about at the beginning of the episode. Somebody tell you that you can't do it, and you like you right. You just get it to them, like you right. Like you ain't never been passionate about nothing in your life. But Mark, for real, quiet as kept, dog. I know people who claim that they passionate at stuff. They claim they passionate. They talk like they passionate, but they don't work like they passionate. They work like it's just a hobby.
Yeah. And with that, right? So that's kind of what I was trying to get at with when I was talking about the job in the beginning, being in that spot where I see that I can do more, so I want to do more. And
Mm-hmm.
instead of just like, all right, what I got going on with the Blender and game development, that gets the back end. I get to that when I get to it. No, I need to make consistent and persistent effort to get that done, to get those things done. Because if I don't learn it, then who will? If I'm not doing it, who's gonna do it, right?
Yeah, that's that's the thing. Like, somebody got to do it. Like,
Facts.
you might as well be the one making money off of it.
Hey man, and it's like I can only speak for me. Like, ideas flood in my mind like crazy. Like, Mac, he's a writer, so he gets it. Like, you have a whole universe in your head. You have these ideas that just like flood in, and like it gets tiresome not acting on it. For me, I'm like, yo, I gotta do this. Like, this is an awesome idea. This is a great mechanic for a game. This is a great idea for a product. And I'm like, I'm gonna be pissed later down the road when I see somebody else do it. So I'm gonna have to do it. Like, it popped in my mind first, so I'm gonna be the first one to do it if it hasn't been done already. And even if it has been done already, I'm still going. Exactly.
Power World, do it again.
If I'm glad you said that, because that was gonna be my second, example for consistency. Because that thing been in early access, or not early access, but that thing been on Steam for a grip. I don't know how many times I done spoke about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's been some years when they first did the trailer for it.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago. It was 2 years ago when we talked about it for the first time.
Okay. So yeah, it's been in the trenches for years, right? And with that, I ain't gonna get into like the technical stuff on it about how it was done in Unreal Engine, the newest Unreal Engine. But just like that alone, right? That game has sold millions. And it blows my mind how I don't even think like the Pokemon company was like too serious about it, but like the fans,
they are now.
right, made the company look into it. Like, the fans were pissed. And I'm just like, y'all just mad because they didn't do what they were willing to do.
Mm-hmm. Or you didn't just listen to your fans in the first place. But that's neither here or there. Here or there.
But they were working on the game. Like, it's very, I don't know, it's just a very good game. And like, I'm pretty sure they listened to the people. They figured out, all right, we want to make an experience. We want to give people a great experience. So we're gonna make this game. We're gonna make it how we want it. We're gonna put our own twist on it. And yeah, it took them years to publish it, but it got published. And it sold millions. Y'all don't understand. Like, and it hasn't even came out on all platforms yet. It sold millions on 2 platforms, kind of 3, but PC, Xbox, and Xbox subscription service. I don't know if you can call that a platform on its own, but
2.
2, okay. Yeah. So PC and Xbox hasn't even came on the Switch, hasn't even came on the PlayStation. And I just imagine it just blowing up even further. Like, and then they could do paid DLCs, they could do free DLCs, they still have a roadmap of updating the thing. And like, millions. Can you imagine millions and you're not even done with the product yet?
I'm gonna check out their roadmap real quick. I'm actually curious about that. Go ahead, man.
If you just start, you don't even have to work all the way until you finish. There's proof out here that you can start. You could be in the beginning, you can be in the middle, and you can make millions. You can make money You can be successful. You can be fulfilled. You can have all the success just from starting, just from working, just from learning, and y'all are just working a 9 to 5. What y'all gonna do when the 9 to 5 gets phased out? And you know nothing but the 9 to 5. You don't know nothing else but the 9 to 5. And then when the 9 to 5 gets phased out, what you gonna do? It's gonna be
Good
people
question.
out here. People out here creating soap, creating clothes. Like all the Rockefellers, they gonna get phased out eventually. They keep raising the prices for stuff, and they're forcing people to get creative. That's all it is. Creativity at its finest. Literally, people, oh, this product or this service costs too much. Let me make something cheap. Let me make something around the same ballpark and make it affordable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I just thinking about what you just said about what are people gonna do when bro, that joint just like Snubble mixed with Eevee. That's hilarious. But I was just thinking about what you said. What are you gonna do when the job lets you go? I like thinking about like what people are gonna do when they realize that they worked too long and all of the things that I kind of feel like people do this a lot, and that's why you get a whole bunch of angry jack of all trades at your job that they just disgruntled personnel at this point, right? Like, they get to this point where they have done nothing, but they have done so much nothing that they think they've done a lot. Like, Mark, you just said something that really struck home to me, right? When you don't act on a thought, you get pissed at yourself. Bruh, that's real life. That's real life. Dog, do you know how many times I thought of something, forgot to put it down, and spent like days trying to remember what I thought about?
All the time.
And was so tired trying to figure it out, bro. I ended up giving myself a migraine one time trying to just thinking about something that I forgot about. But Mark, check this out, right? We have forgotten about more things than most people have ever really put into action.
Exactly.
That's sad.
My office is literally like littered with flashcards.
Oh yeah, you seen Drive. I don't even want to talk about it. You seen Drive. You need source code to get through just the Drive account right now. Like, bro, it's horrible. I went in there and was looking for something that I don't usually go looking for, and was like, yo, I'm lost. I had to search my way back to home. That's terrible, right? All right, so yo, for real, man, I'm just sitting up here thinking about what to say to folks, bro. And I really think that we kind of covered most, like, all that we need to cover, but like there's something else, like on a practical standpoint, something that need to be like a hard hitting clip that we need to put out that kind of puts into perspective where people need to be at, right? And I don't really like. I'm just thinking about it, right? Like, I don't know, man. Dog, y'all really need to step your game up, man. Like, real talk, like, yo, for real, like, you don't need to be doing nothing else but just thinking about what you need to think about. And like, here's the thing, Mark just said, like, yo, you need to think about your gift. Your gift is all you really need to do. Like, your gift should make room for you, man. Your gift should make room for you. What do you do that's hard for others that come easy to you? That's it. What do you do? Just think about it. What comes easy to you that's hard for other people? That is your gift. It's not that hard to figure out. And like, here's the thing. Even if it's your gift, you don't need to like the gift. But your gift should make room for you. Is what it said in the Bible, I believe. I don't know. I ain't never seen it in there, but people, spiritual people, they say it all the time. Your gift should make room for you. But do that. Like, it'll open doors up for you that you ain't never had before. I'm gifted at writing. Hate writing. Can't stand it. But I adore the product. What is the product? The product of the writing that is done on the front end. Because my writing is my gift. I'm good at it. What can I say? I'm good at it. Like, I don't like doing it. I don't take pleasure in somebody coming to me and say, bro, like I love writing, but I just suck at it. Like, I don't take no pleasure in that. Like, for real. Like, it don't make me feel no type of way. Like, I much rather you not say that to me. But like, I am good at that, so that's what I'm going to do. And I'll talk about this on like behind the scenes. Something happened to me recently, and I want to talk to Marcus about it before we get off of here. But like, bro, so it's like just something recently just happened to me. Like, and I don't like doing it, but because I'm good at writing, it opened up an opportunity for me to expand a little bit more, and I'm grateful for that, bro. Because I didn't even ask for that opportunity. I said that I was going to make a set amount of money before I end up having to go back to corporate America to prove that I don't really need corporate America, but I just need the insurance. But here, lo and behold, the opportunity falls into my lap just because I put it out there to the universe and said I was going to make it happen. And it happened. I don't know how it happened, but it happened. Like, and it happened multiple times. So, like, for real, I watched a video today, y'all. And it's so wild, bro. I love how in sync we are sometimes, Mark. The video said, it was a dude said, you don't even need to spend that much time in your gift. He said the word gift. He said you don't even need to spend that much time. And he said most people think you got to spend 40 hours a week at your gift in order to be good at something. My man said, do you know that if you spent 18 hours a day or 18 minutes a day on your gift, then at the end of the year, you'll be better than 98% of the people who doing that thing. And he said the consistency of you putting that habit out there of spending 18 minutes a day on that gift will put you in a place where you have spent 100 hours a year on your gift by the end of that year. Now, in a matter of perspective, they said you take 10,000 hours to become a professional at something. Now, I don't really know if that's a scientific law. I don't really know if biology speaks on that one. But I do know that if I spend a lot of time on something and I make a habit of doing something every single day, then I have no choice than to get better at it. I write every single day, y'all. Every single day. And if I ain't writing, my bad, I had a gnat flying in front of me. Even if I'm not spending time on writing the book, I'm still writing something every single day. And the reason I do that is because I want to be better than the next person that say they like writing too. That's why I do it. Because I need to make my product better than theirs. So work on what you need to work on. Find your gift. What do you do that's better? What do you do better than most people that they find hard? Like, what do you do what comes easy to you that's hard for most people? That's what I meant to say. Figure out what that is and just work on that. 18 minutes a day, the man said, 100 hours a year. That's enough time for you to be better than 98% of the other people who say they like doing it too. That's it. It's not that hard.
So what I was thinking about just now is like when you do that, when you put the 18 minutes, when you put the 10,000 hours, all it is, you don't overcomplicate it. It's just it's muscle memory. Once you get to a point where your craft, your gift, whatever you're working on becomes muscle memory, you do it without thinking. You naturally do it. And it reminded me of I think it was like a youth pastor or something. Dude could play the piano like it was nobody's business. Like he could do the Ray Charles jank, just play out looking. He knows all the chord progressions. Like it could be one person singing and he get on the keys and start playing and it sound like something out of a music video, right? But he ain't playing the piano. He told us straight up, I don't like playing the piano, y'all. He's like, I'm good at it. I'm naturally good at it. And it's opened doors for me. It's gotten me into the position where I am now. But I don't really like it. I just know how to do. And piano, if it's graphic design on the computer, anything like that, all it is muscle memory. Like you see the compilation videos or the videos where nobody's talking, but they're just like sculpting, modeling, doing something with graphic design, painting, whatever. They've gotten so good that they can imagine something and then their hand just draws it, sculpts it, creates it. Like all it is muscle memory. Learning the fundamentals, putting the 18 minutes in, getting good at it to where, like I said, nothing is a failure. Everything is a success. You mess up, you know how to correct it. Or you mess up, you just keep going and you got this giant picture. Nobody sees the blemish in the corner. Nobody sees the erase marks or the pieces of eraser that that's on the painting or the drawing or whatever, right? Get to a point where you've mastered your craft. You got it down packed. You got that muscle memory where you doing it in your sleep. Get to that point, people. That's all we want for you.
Hey, man.
All right. What we got coming up for the people?
But I'm so close to finishing the rewrite of book 1 that I can taste it.
Hey.
I can taste it. But here's the thing that just happened. Book 1 has now become a completely alternate universe of what it used to be. So much so that I'm looking at the story, and this story of book 1 now, though it is the same story, there's so much detail that have been added in that story that it has completely changed the trajectory of the entire series. Now, like I said, the story is still the same. It is still the same conclusion. Mm-hmm. And if you're fans of AJ McMullen and fans of my writing, you already know what the conclusion is. But I promise you, you do not know what you are in store for when you read version 2.0 of the Arcane and Calamity series. So I am on I'm about to say level. I'm on chapter 46, and after we get off of this podcast, I'm actually going to go ahead and finish that because I had to stop short on it earlier to make dinner. But I am on chapter 46 out of 55 of the first book. Now, also for those of you who have read the original Gym State Siege, you know, it was only 30 chapters. So that we went from 30 to 46 now. So 46 or 47, I can't remember which one I was on, but I just know I'm almost finished with that joint. It's gonna be about 55 chapters, and I'm almost at the end, bro. I'm the story is concluding, and it has taken a turn so sharp that even I'm looking at it like, oh, this is wild. And it's just stuff that's already always been there, but it's like I never really knew how to implement it into the story without bombarding people with a whole bunch of information. But you know, now I'm starting to figure it out. So yeah, man, it's coming along. So like I said on last week's episode, guys, if you want more information about that, feel free. Please don't feel free. Get over there and do it, man. ajmcmullen.com/newsletter. Get over there, sign up for it, man. If you are interested and want to know more information about the sci-fi series, the sci-fi thriller series known as The Arcane and Calamity, get over there, man.
Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up. At first I thought you was going with the whole multiverse theory thing or something. I was like, oh, we about to get in it.
Oh no, it's already. You know, just to put a little teaser out there. It's already kind of a multiverse type situation because, like, and I know you didn't necessarily read the Arcane and Prophecy book that I put out 2 years ago, but it's a lot of time related issues happening due to the events of book 7. I want to say it was. Yeah, book 7 is the time book. So yeah, it's a lot of craziness happening. To the point where, and I think I talked about it already, but the original book of the Gem State Siege and the new book of the Gem State Siege are two completely different stories, but they both happen.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I forget what show did it real well, or not really, not do what you're doing, but I like it when shows do that, or you know, books. They have like something from the first episode that pops up in, you know, episodes further down the line, and it just all meshes so well together. It's just like, ooh, you know.
And if you love that, you will love the Aether universe because there's plenty of that happening.
But alrighty, people. Look forward to the things that I'm dropping. I do have a Instagram to make for Morton's Castle.
Yes, you do, sir.
When I figure out where I want to go with the website, I will let you guys know. But baby steps. First, we're gonna do the rough portfolio on Instagram and all the social media platforms. And then we'll gradually get to the more advanced things to put the work out there so we can possibly get some work, you know, commissions or whatever, so we can quit that 9 to 5. You know, that's what we're working on, people. But yeah, this has been the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy, Marcus Morton. I always say with me is the Aaron Mack. And before we go, please trample over that like and subscribe button. We do this for y'all because we love y'all, and we just want to give y'all the motivation to be better than y'all were yesterday. And always remember, those who shy away from addressing the elephant in the room are doomed to be crushed by the weight of it. We love y'all.
Peace. Love y'all. See y'all next week.